Alabama football on YouTube. Can I get a roll tide inside the comment box? Good morning to everybody inside the comment box. It's Friday. It is September 26th. We are one day away from Alabama and Georgia. Please get inside the comment box. Let me know where you're watching from. I appreciate you guys. As you know, got a great show lined up for you today. Today is a call-in show. You know what to do. When I put the call-in line on the screen, you guys call in, give me a score prediction, give me a bold prediction, and let's get it popping on today's Feel Good Friday show. How is everybody doing? First of all, on a scale of 1 to 10, let me know. You excited? You nervous? You about ready to get to that day? I know for me personally, it's been like the longest week, right? I was excited because, look, for the team's sake, you get 2 weeks to prepare for Georgia. But that meant for us as fans or people thinking about the game, we had 13, 14 days to think about this one, right? To talk about every single angle, right? To go up and down, to weigh the good and the bad, right? So it's like, finally, we're here. It's like, what the hell else is there to say, right? It's like, play the damn game. So bye weeks are like that. I appreciate you guys kicking it with me during the bye week and getting through the bye week, and we are almost there. So tomorrow is our kind of first semester Christmas. You got Alabama and Georgia. So when you call in today on the show, let me know your score prediction. Give me your score prediction. Give me your bold prediction, and I'm excited to get your take. I'll post my score prediction here in just a few minutes. I just came up with it like 5 minutes ago, okay? All right, now as we look at the weekend weather, courtesy of North Alabama Storm Chase, all right, check them out. We got a tailgate temperature of 78 degrees. It looks like a 50% chance of rain. You know, this will be interesting to track, right? The weather within this particular game, because it looks like there could be a little bit of rain. As you see the kickoff game time, it looks like 50%. Now, I have to say, that probably bodes well for Georgia, okay? Because, you know, we don't want to play in the slop. I don't want to play in the slot, but let's see what happens. For the fourth quarter, it looks like 40% chance of rain. So something that we are definitely keeping an eye on. And North Alabama Storm Chase, I appreciate you always sending these in. The one thing that I like, and thumbs up if you like this too. One thing that I like and I appreciate is consistency in performance. Right? And I bring that up because that's something that Coach Saban always talked about. Now, you have to remember, I went to every single Coach Saban press conference in person for 9 years, right? So not only, I like that, everything that he said, it sunk into my brain, right? So that's how I operate my life. Consistency, performance, the right psychological disposition. Like that stuff is like, it's in here, right? So I bring that up to say, North Alabama Storm Chase, I appreciate the grind because this guy sends this email every single day. I wake up early. And this email is already in my inbox. I don't know if he's scheduling it or whatever, but I appreciate people that are consistent. Honestly, I'm going to tell you something. I don't like to work with anybody else because I like to work at an elite level. And high achievers don't like mediocre, period, okay? My standards are high as shit. There, I said it. For every single thing in my life. Everything. And that's just how I am, right? So, and I hope you're like that too. I hope you have high standards for your life. And look, I'm not saying I'm perfect because there's areas that I obviously need to grow in, but I'm just saying, man, like you want to be around people that are uplifting, that are, you know, that have motivation. Don't let off the gas in this life. All right, let's see who's up inside the comment box. We got Alyssa. I appreciate you as always. Talk about consistency and performance. Alyssa always here, and hopefully we hear from her today. Great Alabama football fan. Young C always here. He usually first in line. Appreciate you being here. OC Dobbins, what's up, man? Thank you so much. Mindy Miss Careless, huge Alabama football fan, of course. Cam TV, what's up? Good to see you, man. He has it 34-31 Alabama. Miss Nicole in here. We got Amanda up in here. We got Bruce Williams up inside the comment box. We got Dano. Where's Max Tooney? Max Tooney? Somebody check on Max Tooney. Anita, what's up? I appreciate you being here as well. We got Robert Bradley Jr. What's up, Robert? Good to see you, man. Big Chevy from the 205. Good to see you as well. Thanks for always kicking it with us. Crystal Jones, what's up? I appreciate you being here. Who else? We got Jermaine, the King, is in here. What's up, man? Weekend Warriors. Miss Kimberly, good to see you as well. Bruce Williams coming to us from Fort Wayne, Indiana. Ryan Harris, what's up, man? My boy Dano, always inside the comment box. You got Anna up in here. You got my boy Jarvis saying that it feels like Christmas Eve. Hell yeah, it does. We got Nacho Alabama up inside the comment box. We got Jeff Roy who says roll tide. We got Rory McIlroy kicking it with us today before the Ryder Cup, right? And you got Tonette Turn Up. What's up? Appreciate you being here. Claudie, what's up, Claudie? Claudie says, Bama, 28, the puppies, 17. Larry Large, my boy. What's up, man? Good to see you as well. Eminem, what's going on? Thank you so much for kicking it with us today. Rita, I see you inside the comment box. Good morning to you as well. Rex, my boy. I love when Rex is up in here, man. Marcus and St. Pete's. Todd Tipton, Paige and Todd Tipton, where you at, man? We got Reese Parker, we got Doug, and where is Max Tooney? And what about Twan and Antonio? What's up, Antonio? I see you. Appreciate you. In North Alabama Storm Chase, 100%, man. Good to see you as well. Early riser, that's what I like, man. You know what? I told you already. It makes me mad if I wake up late. I don't know why. I feel like if I wake up late, I'm pissed off. Randall Green, what's up, man? Checking in from Olive Branch, Mississippi. Reese Parker, Josh Miller, good to see you. All right. Oh, all right, fam. Thank you so much for kicking it with me right here on Bama Football on YouTube. As you know, every day, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, the SEC availability report is released from the SEC. This is a new thing that I think started happening last year, right? So the coaches have to give like a real updated injury report. So this is from Alabama. You have Ja Latham, right? Prayers up for his continued recovery. We don't really even know how severe this is, but anything from neck to head is ultra severe. So we'll wait for Coach Kalen DeBoer to kind of update us on that. You got Jeremiah Beeman, who's out with the leg for the rest of the season. Probable for this game is Danny Lewis, and then also listed is Tim Keenan. Now, don't let this make you nervous. These change. These are updated literally Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So we'll get one tonight, I think, before the game. Look, Coach Kalen DeBoer has spoken about Tim Keenan. All the guys have spoken about him, so he is going to play in this game. I would imagine him and Jam Miller are on a rep count, as I've been saying for this whole week. I just made a note right there. This is like for me, I put this on there. Note, Jam Miller is healthy, because I get a lot of feedback inside the comment box. They're like, wow, like, where isn't Jam? Is he like out? So I think it's confusing for people if somebody who has been hurt the entire season is going to come back and they're not even listed on this. So I put Jam Miller, he is healthy, because I get a lot of those questions. What's on my playlist? Oh man, you know what I've been listening to? I have been playing this song literally so you know me, I go hard in the paint all the time. So it's crazy. I'd play it for you if it wasn't a copyright song. But I've had this song on repeat, literally on repeat. I have T-Pain presents Happy Hour, the greatest hits, Up Down, right? Up Down. I've had that literally. I don't know. I like to play it loud in my truck. I love the bass. I love he's the only person that has perfected the auto tune, right? So if you're a T-Pain fan, hit me up inside the comment box. I'm a huge fan of just music in general, specifically out of the Southeast. I was raised on hip hop and R&B, but also on country. So it's crazy. Like I can go from like T-Pain, Ludacris, Outkast. I got a lot of love for the area in Atlanta specifically, but also I can go like Morgan Wallen on you. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at right now within my music playlist. For the Georgia Bulldogs, speaking of Atlanta or just outside in Athens, right? The biggest note is for this weekend is Ernest Green III will be out, and he's their starting right tackle. This is a guy that started against Tennessee. He's had some back issues in the past, and he will be out this game. So I think that right there is pretty impactful. What if we were missing our right tackle? You guys might be happy. Look, we're going to be watching Welcome Formby, just like we have every single game, right? Man, my camera can't even keep up with me, man. Hit the juke on the camera, man. You got to keep up, camera. Yo, this is SEC play, camera. Bam. Out of the frame. But I think if Ernest Green, he's out, right? Damn, send the pressure. Quay Russaw, let's go, man. LT Overton, let's get after the quarterback specifically, right? So Ernest Green III, I think that is the most notable guy who won't be playing for the Georgia Bulldogs. Of course, it's like Alabama. One guy step out, one guy step in. That's just how Georgia is. You don't think that Georgia has depth, you're twisted, right? You'd be twisted like Key Sweat. All right, did anybody get that? All right, they said it earlier before the season, right? You got Ryan Grubb, offensive coordinator, who said Jam is the man, period, plain and simple. Let me ask you inside the comment box, do you think that Jam Miller goes for over 50 yards rushing? More or less 50 yards for Jam Miller. And you know that this video is powered by Sleeper, right? So when you download Sleeper, you can do more or less. I do it. It's fun. So hit up Sleeper, download the app. The promo code is tailgate. Get 100% deposit up to $100. Use the promo code tailgate. Damn, a lot of people have more for Jam Miller. You know, I bring that up, and that seems like an easy one, right? You're like, okay, I got way more for 50 yards for Jam Miller, but he hasn't ran for more than 50 yards in the last 2 times that he's played them. He really hasn't. And I think with Georgia's defense, you know, this is a team that is built to stop the run. Alabama is a team that we have yet to see if they can run the football effectively. We don't know, you know, how Jam's going to look this year. But, I mean, if you look at this little picture on the left, I mean, my goodness, take your best guess. Ironically, he hasn't scored a rushing touchdown the 2 times that he's played Georgia, but he's caught 2 passing touchdowns, right? 2 receiving touchdowns. Wouldn't it be crazy if he catches another touchdown against Georgia? So, look, Jam is the man, and I have a lot of respect for this Alabama running back room. I always talk about it. I mean, it's been a pleasant surprise to see Kevin Riley performing at this high of a level. A.K. Deere looks like a damn good running back for just being a freshman. We've seen a little bit of Richard Young and a little bit of Daniel Hill. Those guys haven't seemed as good as the younger guys. And that's just being honest. We're being honest. We have to be honest about all the things that we talk about. And Jam Miller, look, I mean, he's a different type of back. And I think specifically in a game like this, where you do have your concerns about Georgia's pass rush, specifically on 3rd down with their exotic blitzes, well, maybe somebody who's really good in pass protection can fill that void. So it's not about always, you know, your running backs hitting the hole and getting yards. It's about pass protection. How do they catch the football? And what type of elements do they bring to your offense overall, right? You keep up. I'm feeling good. I'm excited. I feel loose. I feel limber. Slept well. I appreciate you guys kicking it with me. All right. This is a crazy stat over here on the right. Kirby Smart, yo, against everybody else since he's been the head football coach at Georgia, right? Yo, he's 107-13. 107-13. Yeah, like Hayden says inside the comment box, hit the thumbs up on the video. Run the thumbs up. Who knows about that? All right, that's crazy. Yo, that is so respectable. 107-13. There's a lot of head coaches out there that, you know, I don't really think they have the right stuff, right? But I think Kirby Smart has the right stuff. And that's why it showcases how Bama has been Bama. Yo, as good as Kirby is, everybody else in the country fears Georgia. Seriously. You play Georgia. Oh, my goodness. This is the team. Kirby Smart, right? The defense, his running backs that he has. Yo, but against Bama, he's been 1-6. Now, I get it. He's messed with Coach Kalen DeBoer just one time, right? But it was Coach Kalen DeBoer who came out with the W. And as I've said in the past, right, and as I talk about it, if Coach Kalen DeBoer is able to best Kirby Smart again on the road, that's 2-0 against Kirby Smart. The whole narrative about Coach Kalen DeBoer can't do this, can't do that, you could always fall back on this stat, is that he's 2-0 against Kirby Smart. That'll shut a lot of people up. That'll make boosters happy. That'll make recruits happy. That'll make everybody happy. You know what I'm saying? So 2-0 against Kirby Smart, yo, that's it. And as I've spoken about, and I'm going to keep talking about this up until this game is over, and even further than that. But you have to understand, and you know what's crazy? I've been harping on this a lot lately, is that fans need to understand that you need to become like NFL fans now. You need to understand that a loss, 2 losses, 3 losses does not define your season. I'm not setting anybody up for a loss this weekend. I want to reiterate that, okay? But look, when you're an NFL fan, you know it's any given Sunday. This is any given Saturday now, okay? And guess what? Guess who was saying the same thing? Hugh Freeze, all right? I just heard him. It was like he listened to my video and he was saying the same thing. I think all the coaches are thinking the same thing. Going 10-3 is remarkable, right? You lose 2 games in the SEC, damn, credit to you, right? You go undefeated in the SEC, holy cow, my goodness, right? So if Alabama loses on Saturday, they'll be 2-2 overall. They'll be 0-2 against top 10 teams this season. Okay, top 10 teams. You play top 10 teams. Big 10, you play top 10 teams. Big 12, you play top 10 teams. ACC, you play top 10 teams. Their schedule's light. They don't. They'll be 0-1 in SEC play, and they'll have 7 more SEC games, okay? A long way to go, okay? The Bama isn't Bama anymore. That narrative will continue to grow, okay? Now, if Bama wins on the flip side, think of how it changes. DeBoer is 2-0 against Kirby Smart, period. Shut your mouth. It'll be 2-0 against Kirby Smart. Who else is 2-0 against Kirby Smart? Yeah, raise your hand. Not a lot of people. It proves that Bama can win on the road. They'll be 1-0 in SEC play. They'll be ranked in the top 10. Every single news organization that exists will just talk about Alabama for the rest of their lives, right? All the big dogs will just nothing but Alabama. Kalen DeBoer this, Kalen DeBoer that, Kalen DeBoer this. If they win, it's a Super Bowl that is meaningless, okay? Because I'm going to tell you what, even though his approval rating will go through the roof, and everybody will be harping and praising Alabama if they win, and they'll be hating on him if he loses, guess what? Guess what? Let me ask you again. Is Alabama in the playoffs if they win against Georgia tomorrow? Do they get an automatic bid? Do they? No, they don't. And if they lose, are they out of the playoffs 100%? No, they're not. It means, guess what it means? Get ready for Vanderbilt, because guess what? Guess what? Vanderbilt, the winner, regardless of what happens on Saturday, and of course you want to win, right? But guess what? You win that game, you haven't clinched a spot in the playoffs, you haven't clinched a spot in the SEC championship. It'll all be rat poison. Everybody will be telling you and gassing you up that you're the best team that there's been and all this other crap. And guess what? That same thing happened to them last year, and they went into this game against Vanderbilt, and Vanderbilt beat the you-know-what out of them. Period. And guess what? When they play Vanderbilt right after Georgia, Vanderbilt will be 5-0 unless Utah State beats Vanderbilt. Sound off inside the comment box. Who wins this game, Vanderbilt or Utah State? Who wins? Does Utah State beat Vanderbilt? Vanderbilt, I'll tell you what Vanderbilt has. If you want to say anything positive, and that's not Diego Pavia, I just put a random Vanderbilt dude on there. Vanderbilt, what Vanderbilt has the Clubber Lang mentality. They are hungry. They have the eye of the tiger. They are pissed off for greatness. This is a program that people laugh at. People don't, they think that this is the same Vanderbilt from like the early 2000s or late 2000s, whatever. No. Vanderbilt's, these guys want to punch you in the face. This is the guy like that you don't want to fight, okay? This is like, these guys are pissed off for greatness. There's no more dangerous team than people that are overlooking, all right? These guys are hungry. So guess what? Alabama win or lose against Georgia. You got a 5-0 Vanderbilt team coming to Tuscaloosa. Diego Pavia, his mindset, he's not scared of Alabama. He's not scared of nobody, period. I like people like that. And then guess what? You beat Vanderbilt. Congratulations. You're 2-0. You still haven't clinched the SEC championship game. You still haven't made the playoffs. And guess who comes to town? Or guess where you go? Guess where you go? Where, Kyle? Where does an all-expense-paid trip take you? If you beat Georgia and you beat Vanderbilt, tell him what he gets, Kyle. You get an all-expense-paid trip to go play little Aldo Rays, right? Anybody know who Aldo Rays is? Glorious Bastards? Well, you get an all-expense-paid trip to Columbia, Missouri to face the undefeated Missouri Tigers. That's what you get, Kyle. Oh, wow, you do. Is Missouri going to beat Massachusetts? Hell yeah, they are. Anybody know Aldo Rain? I'm going to tell you one thing. I'm going to tell you one thing, Kyle. You beat Vanderbilt, you get a all-expense-paid trip to Missouri. Little Aldo Rain. Anybody seen that movie? So I say all this to say that. It's like, look, win or lose, get back to business. It's any given Saturday from here on out. So just get ready. Get ready for Georgia. It's a one-game season. And you have to be able to take care of all these teams on the schedule if you want to be able to get included in the playoffs or even make the SEC championship. This conference right here is not created like the other conferences. This conference is like the NFL. It's a washing machine of sharks. And if you somehow survive week by week, you're going to be able to be into the top 4, top 5 of the SEC, and you're going to have an amazing shot to make the playoffs, okay? I get it. Losses hurt. We don't like to lose. We don't like to lose at anything in life, period. We play to win the game. Play to win the game, okay? But job's not done if they win. Job's not done if they lost, okay? So I get it. It's emotional to watch these games. You don't like Georgia. Georgia don't like Alabama. There's a lot of bad blood there. These are two elite programs that are fighting for the brand integrity of college football. They're fighting for future 5 stars, right? There's a lot at stake. So, but just know that win or lose against Georgia, yeah, it's a huge step forward if you win. But if you lose, season's not done. Just remember that. Win or lose, get ready for these next 2 undefeated teams. Wild. Crazy. All right, you know what? Show powered by Sleeper. As always, use the promo code, which is tailgate. When you get you get a match 100% up to $100. Use the promo code tailgate. Available in 25 states. Terms and conditions apply. Okay. So this is I'm setting you up for success right here. Okay. I'm gonna take your calls in just a minute. But I'm already setting you up for success, okay? When you download Sleeper and you download the app, you can make more or less picks. This is really easy to do, okay? You want a little $3 you want a little 3-player parlay? Well, here you go. Ty Simpson. I'll even have the undefeated back me up on this. We've been talking about this all week, right? Ty Simpson, more or less than 250 yards passing against Georgia. 252 yards, more or less. Type in more if you think more. Okay, look, you have 175 people behind you when you download the app and you make a more or less pick. Yo, it would be shocking content if this guy doesn't throw for more than 252, right? Like, I watched Joey Aguilar cook up Georgia. Now, look, I understand the different schematics of different games and all this other stuff, but, man, Ty Simpson, I think if he has time to throw, man, yo, and the weapons come through and there's no drop passes, he probably throwing for 300 yards, okay? Hey, Anna with the super chat. We appreciate you. Thank you so much. Yeah, I love that mentality. 100%. Look, this is what Anna says. Yo, Bama needs a mentality the entire season. We don't quit. We don't cower. We don't run. We endure and conquer. Yeah, job's not done. So what? Job's not done. All right? Anna, I appreciate your support. Thank you so much for kicking it with the $20 super chat. I really, really appreciate you. Thank you so much. for supporting the product. And that's the way that you can support the show as well. You can send a super chat, as always, or you can hit me up with a Venmo, Bama_YouTube, or Cash App, Bama YouTube. All the support really goes a long way, or if you just want to kick it inside the comment box, then I appreciate that as well. Jarvis in with another super chat as well. When it updates on my screen, I'll be able to get it to the board. And Jarvis says this, it always amazes me how 18 to 22-year-old can function in front of, dude, 1,000,000%. I was just thinking about this when I was doing the rewatch of the Tennessee-Georgia game. I was looking up at Knoxville, man, and 17, that wide receiver, to be able to go up to catch some of the passes that he did and to be able to go forward, it was remarkable. Same thing with Ryan Williams last year. It was like a young rattlesnake, right? Just like going all out. That's why I've never sold on Ryan Williams. You know that. Just think of the playmaking ability that kid has is crazy. If he goes off in this game, oh my goodness. He'd be on the front cover of everything. You need a really big game for Ryan Williams. But you know what? I think, and Jarvis, thank you so much for the super chat. I really appreciate it. But you know what? And I got Jeremy Bernard right here going over 51 yards on Sleeper. That one's easy. That's your gimme of the week. And I got Gunnar Stockton throwing less than 2 touchdowns. But you know what? You know who I think is going to have a really big game? Let me ask you. Who is your sleeper in this game? Who is your sleeper in this game? I know something about you. Gunnar Stockton, you went to, that's a private school. His real name's Clarence. Just kidding. And Clarence lives at home with both parents. Who's your sleeper? What's the matter, dog? You embarrassed? This guy's a gangster? Who knows what that's from? Peasy, you got it, dog. Thank you, man. That's who I was looking for. Peasy says Isaiah Horton, 100%. Yo, Isaiah Horton, I think he is the guy. Seriously. Who got the 8 Mile? This guy's a gangster. Yo, I think Isaiah Horton, 6'4", 210. Nobody's been talking about him. You kind of lose sight of where he's at because you're worried about Ryan Williams, you're worried about Jeremy Bernard. And then here comes Isaiah Horton. Woo! Snatching it. Problematic. Those wide receivers that they have are absolutely problematic. So these guys need to have big games in a big time atmosphere. But Isaiah Horton, he'd be my sleeper going into this game, 100%. This is my score prediction, all right? So next up, I'm going to take your calls right here on Bama Football on YouTube. But this is my score prediction. I got it 35-31. I'm going to go with Alabama. I think that when you look at this game, there's going to be a lot of points. I would be shocked if it's something like 24-17. I think that these two offenses, you know, and I'm curious to see what Georgia does to get 31 points. You know what I'm saying? But I think Alabama, if Alabama's going to win this game, they're going to have to score into the 30s. Expect a really big game for Ty Simpson. I really hope that Alabama is able to protect Ty Simpson, that he can operate the way that Ty Simpson's able to operate. He throws a very catchable pass, but I think you look at the playmakers that Alabama has, I think they're better than Georgia's. Now, it's going to come down to the offensive line play. The two key factors of this game: offensive line play for Alabama and Alabama's ability to stop the run on the defensive side of the ball. Those are the two things. I'm not worried about athletes making plays. Athletes, I mean, they make plays, period. But you got to be able to stop Georgia's run, and I think if they do, Alabama comes away with a 35-31 victory that, you know, will be a statement heard around college football. I put up a video yesterday, an old video about Coach Saban talking in 2021, and he was like, look, during that week before Georgia, when Georgia was a 6.5-point favorite, everyone provided rat poison that was yummy. You guys see that? So I think Georgia fans understand who's coming to town. I think people still are trying to figure out who Alabama is. I think people definitely don't think that Alabama is who they were. I really don't. I think the great majority of the world of college football is the jury's still out on Alabama. Honestly, they're like, look, Alabama hasn't played anybody. They lost to Florida State. But see, people can't get past the fact that, like, teams are not the same year over year because of all the turnover. So they think that Alabama lost to a 2-10 Florida State team. That Florida State team will slice you up. Good luck playing them. But the point is, Alabama wins this game. Regardless of the score, it's a statement heard around the nation. And I think the narrative quickly changed around Coach Kalen DeBoer that he can get the job done, right? And his approval rating does stay high. So that's my score prediction, all right? So you guys now hit me up on the phone line, okay? 205-850. I'm on the request line. One thing that I do ask, okay, is that when you do call in, make your score prediction, make your bold prediction, keep it concise, because I had a lot of people that want to call into the show, okay? And truth be told, and I just want to be honest with you, and I know it's sometimes hard for me to be honest with you or with people because I am a people pleaser, but it's best to always be honest. So sometimes if you go on and on and on and on, the viewers for me go down and down and down and down. So what works better for the show and for everybody is to get on, have a little dialogue with me, right? I might ask you a couple things about your city, right? Because I like, you know me, I love to travel. I like this life. Make your score prediction, and then sayonara, okay? I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. Oh, and the other thing is, don't call in. Like, if you're on Bluetooth, we probably can't hear you. If there's static, or if you're at the plant, or if you're at somewhere else and I can't hear you, I'll hang up on the call because it's a show. It needs to operate. Don't hold it against me personally. Like, I love you, but if the call sucks, then I'm outie 5,000. Okay? Take a deep breath. All right, you guys ready? Okay. With that said, the call-in show starts now. 813. Hey, what's up? You're on the line with Kyle Henderson. Who am I on the line with, and where are you calling in from?
You're speaking to Case out of Tampa, Florida.
Case, what's up, man? I appreciate you being here. Good morning, Case. I hope you're off to an amazing Friday. Welcome into the show, man.
Hey, I like the Inglourious Bastards reference. You take that deal, I'll take it.
Oh, yeah. Eldo Rain? Oh, yeah. We take it every single time. Go ahead, Case.
So, my score prediction, I think we get a statement win. I think it's going to be 41-31. I think we beat them by 10. My bold prediction is just like last year, the world didn't know Ryan Williams. He was 17. Everyone doubted him. He's not going to do anything against Georgia. I think it's going to be the same thing, but with Latsier Brooks. I think he's going to have a breakout game, and they're going to be too worried about covering Ryan Williams and Jeremy Bernard and Isaiah Horton, and they're going to leave him open, and he's going to make some really big plays. And the number one key that you've already touched on, it's all dependent on the offensive line in the trenches. That's what's going to determine the game.
Hey, Case, before I let you go, man, don't you think that the narrative shifts gigantically with a win for Alabama football? Can you imagine we come back on Monday Morning Quarterback and when we're talking about what was and how they're able to beat Georgia? I mean, can you imagine Coach Kalen DeBoer's approval rating if he goes 2-0 against the Georgia Bulldogs?
Oh, absolutely. And that's just how people are with it's rat poison back and forth.
Yeah.
We lose to FSU, and everyone automatically assumes that FSU is a terrible team because they went 10-2.
Yeah.
And you know what? Alabama's over. The dynasty is dead. Look for a new coach. It just – and then now if we go and beat Georgia, we're going to jump up to, they may be one of the best teams in the nation.
Yeah.
And then just like you said, then we've got to finish out the season and make sure we don't fumble up anywhere else because it'll be right back to get rid of your coach. It's over. So it's got to finish strong. And you made a good point. You know, you were positive when we lost to FSU about if you're going to lose, you better do it early and not late. And that's 100% the fact. But it will be a major narrative shift if we beat Georgia, and it'll come with a lot of rat poison. So
yeah, 100%. And you got two undefeated teams stacked on top of that. I appreciate the call, Case. Thank you so much for leading off.
Absolutely. Roll Tide.
All right, roll tide, team, man. All right, 601, you're up next. Hey, what's up? Good morning. You're on the line with Kyle Henderson. Who am I on the line with, and where are you calling in from?
Nacho, Alabama.
What's
in
up,
Madison, Mississippi.
All right, Nacho, Alabama. Welcome to the show. I appreciate seeing you inside the comment box. Coming to us. Where are you coming to us from? In where, Mississippi?
Madison, just north of Jackson.
All right, got you. Welcome into the show. I appreciate it. Go ahead, man.
All right, I am predicting 41-27 Alabama. I am expecting a dominant game here. And, man, I think our defense, I want to see our defense putting some serious pressure on them. I want to see some scooping scores. Man, I want to see some interceptions just like we did the last game. I think it's going to be on fire, man.
Hey, Nacho, I have a question for you. If you're looking at this game and if there's anything that gives you a little bit of worry or anxiety going into this game, what is it and why?
Our secondary, Georgia's got some great wide receivers, and that would be my concern. If we can't put pressure on their quarterback, then it could definitely get out of hand. But I don't see that, man.
Have you had a chance to watch Gunnar Stockton play? And if you have, what are your thoughts on him?
Not much. I'm an Alabama guy. I don't watch a whole lot of the other thing. I mean, I watched the Tennessee game, and it was back and forth. But I think, like I said, we put pressure. It don't matter how good he is.
All right, last question for you, Nacho. Who scores the first touchdown for Bama on Saturday?
I'm gonna say Jam Miller, baby. I think we get it in close and then drive it in, punch it.
Yeah, I'd love to see Jam get in the end zone. I can't wait to see his return, man. But I appreciate the calling again, Nacho, and I appreciate your support, man.
Roll Tide.
All right, roll Tide, man. All right, Nacho, Alabama, calling from Madison, Mississippi. 737, let's do it. Hey, good morning. You're on line with Kyle Henderson. Who am I on line with, and where are you calling in from?
Hello, Kyle. This is Mike in Austin.
Mike, what's up, man? I appreciate you being here. Everyone welcome in Mike from Austin. Mike, take it away.
Well, it's like you were saying, it would be nice to win this game because all the ups and downs we've had for the last couple of years, it would be a major statement win, and it'd be very nice to win this game for the whole program and for Kalen DeBoer as well. But with that being said, what brings me worries about that is we're going to play the best team in college football at their stadium Saturday night where they haven't lost in over 30 tries. So definitely an uphill battle. But Kyle, here's the way I look at it, man. If any team can go in there and beat Georgia, it's Alabama. They're one of the few teams that are actually, I think, have enough good players to do so. And with that being said, I think we get our momentum changing win. I think we go in there and play a good game and win, because this is what here's the X factor. The X factor is our big playability. I've been saying that for the past 2 or 3 weeks. Our big playability with the good wide receivers we have, the good quarterback we have, the good play calling we have. That's the X factor. Now the hidden thing is our running game. If our running game shows up and does well, that'd be the big thing. There's our running game showing up and taking some relief off the quarterback. But like I mentioned, I'll go ahead and make a prediction where Bama's going to go in there and just straight up, Ty's going to play a good game. We're straight up going to beat them about 35-24. I say we get our statement win, and the narrative changes a bit towards Alabama and DeBoer. So with that being said, Bama's going to win 35-24.
Before I let you go, Mike, give me your prediction on Oregon and Penn State and any thoughts you have on a game that College Game Day will be at.
I think that's going to be a good game for the Big Ten, but Oregon and Penn State are very about the same team. They flame out every year. They're always hyped up to be the greatest thing that there is, and then they just burn out towards the end. But it's a matter of who burns out first between them two teams. But I will say Oregon is a better team, better players. I say Oregon is going to win, so I just think Oregon is the better team. But both them teams, they just kind of, like I mentioned, flame out every year after all the hype, especially Oregon. But I'll say Oregon's going to win that game. It's probably going to be a pretty good game, but I'll say Oregon's going to win. And I'll make another upset prediction as well. Notre Dame loses another game at Arkansas. I'm going to go ahead and call it that Arkansas in Fayetteville beats Notre Dame. So, man, there's a lot of good games this weekend. There's also the Auburn-Texas A&M game.
Yep.
I think Texas A&M is going to win that game. But first and foremost, though, our good guys. Alabama's going to beat Georgia. They need a good statement victory, and I think we're going to get it this weekend.
I appreciate it, Mike. Thanks for the call, man. Good dialogue. All right, that's Mike out in Austin. Roll Tide to you, bro. I appreciate it. That's the thing. He put it perfectly, and I think I might use that going forward. He's exactly right. That's what I've been trying to say this whole season is like the reason I don't believe in Oregon or Penn State is because they do flame out, at some point in the season. It seems to happen. I have to say, though, I was impressed with Penn State's playoff play, but overall, if they played this type of a schedule, I don't know how many games that they're winning. But good call as always. 478, let's do it. Hey, good morning. You're on line with Kyle Henderson. Who am I on line with and where are you calling in from?
Hey, Kyle, it's Alyssa Mitchell from Macon, Georgia.
Hey, Alyssa, good morning. I appreciate it. I was looking forward to your call. Always a good call from Georgia regarding an Alabama football fan. Alyssa, come with it.
Okay, I've got two things I want to touch on today. The first is, all right, for Alabama to win this game, I think three things are a must. I think the defense is going to have to crank it up, especially against the run. I think we need to score early and fast in order to take the crowd out of the game and give Alabama some momentum. And then third, we need to be all gas and no brakes for 4 quarters because, as we know, Georgia is a second-half team, and Kirby's going to make those second-half adjustments.
Yeah, I love it. I think you're right. And I love point number 2, and I completely agree. And I was asking, I think we asked the Facebook channel, I was like, if you win the toss, do you receive or do you defer? For me, I receive. I like to go on attack right away. And I think the reason you go on attack in a game like this is you can take momentum out of the stadium with a long sustaining score. Now, with that said, they did just that against Florida State, and Florida State responded very quickly. But I think playing time of possession, being able to establish a run, and scoring often and early. And you're right. Look, last year, I'll be honest, I thought the game was over at halftime. I really did. And I've watched as much football as anybody. Didn't you, Alyssa? Maybe you knew.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my goodness, this is this is the best Alabama football team I've ever seen. And then the second half, I was like, they're gonna lose.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Anything else, Alyssa?
Yeah, my next and final point is in response to the Georgia fan in the comment section that states, if Georgia wins on Saturday, the torch is officially passed. So, Kyle, Georgia fans, they're on the loose, and I need to tug that leash back a little bit because regardless of who wins this game tomorrow, Alabama owns you. Jarvis, correct my stats if I'm wrong, okay? Georgia has beaten Alabama once in the past 15 years, not to mention that one win wasn't even over a healthy Alabama team. Alabama has 18 national championships. Georgia has 4. Alabama has won back-to-back national championships 3 times. Georgia's done that once. Alabama has 4 Heisman winners. Georgia has 2. And Georgia has never beaten Alabama in an SEC championship. Listen, Georgia, you had your 2 seconds of fame, and which team ended that fame? Which team ended your 3-peat possibility? Alabama. Georgia's nothing but a knockoff Clemson to me, and we get it. We know Alabama is your Super Bowl, but at the end of the day, they're nothing more to us than the next game on our schedule. Roll Tide, roll. Bama wins 38-31.
Love it. Great call, Alyssa. I appreciate you. It must be tough. That is what I felt from that call is honesty, transparency, good game call, but also is like, imagine living in Georgia. She's dealing with Georgia fans every day. She lives behind enemy territory, all right? So that's the type of emotion and passion that he has, and she just put Georgia in their place. That was the look, Alyssa calls, and she speaks the truth, period. That's why we always look forward to her call on Friday. Great call. 601, you're up next. Hey, you're on the line with Kyle Henderson. Who am I on the line with and where are you calling in from?
Hey, this is Jake from Little Rock, Mississippi.
Hey, Jake, what's up, man? I appreciate you calling in from Mississippi. Come with it, man.
All right, so I kind of feel like this game will go one of 2 ways. I just think Ty Simpson eats up this Georgia defense, or our O-line can't protect him. If our O-line is strong and Ty keeps it up, I predict 41-31 Bama. If they don't protect Ty, I predict a way closer game. And I wanted to ask you a question. If this game does come down close and Alabama loses, say by like a field goal, what do you think the word or like the mentality about Alabama will be going forward?
I see Coach Kalen DeBoer in Alabama, they're in a tough spot because they lost that first game, right? And they lost 4 games last year. So people haven't caught up to this whole NFL mentality yet. So it doesn't matter if they lose by 10 points. It doesn't matter if they lose by a field goal. The way that I think the narrative will be put towards Coach Kalen DeBoer and towards Alabama football is that this isn't the type of team that they used to be. This isn't the same organization that it used to be. They'll be 0-1 against SEC. They'll be they'll be 0-2 against top 10 teams. So there's a lot on the line, I think, for like program integrity. But the reality is that, like I've been saying this whole week, it doesn't matter if you win this game or if you really lose this game, because guess what? You're playing 2 more undefeated teams stacked on top. Then you have Tennessee, then you have LSU, then you have Oklahoma will be healthy by then you have Auburn. So, man, like if you follow the NFL, yeah, you won a game. Great. Are you in the playoffs? No. Hell no. You got to this week by week, and if you lose, it sucks, but you pick up and you get ready for next week. But I think Alabama's in a very difficult spot because they're judged at such a higher level, not only by like the national media, but I think by the College Football Playoff Committee, which I think is really unfair. I think that Alabama, they have to go 10-2. They have to, win 3. They can't lose 3 games or they're out of the playoffs because of Bama fatigue. Where would Indy? Let me ask you this, Jake, right? Jake from Mississippi.
Yes.
All right. Where would like Indiana, who's by the way ranked 9th, where would they be within the SEC? An afterthought, or would they be in the middle?
That's a tough question. I haven't really watched a whole lot of this Indiana team, but from what I've seen, I would predict, on that lower end, I wouldn't say necessarily the bottom, but kind of lower to mid.
Yeah, that's kind of my point that I always argue is same with even Notre Dame, Indiana, maybe a team like Iowa State or Texas Tech. The playoffs are not gauged equally in terms of the teams that actually make the playoffs. So like, where would Alabama be in the Big 12? Where would Alabama be in the ACC? Right? Or where would Alabama be in, one of these other conferences? I think they'd probably be more in the topper end because there's less quality teams. SEC is an absolute shark tank. Anything else you want to hit on, Jake?
Did you see where I believe it's Oregon going up against Penn State broke out the glow-in-the-dark uniform?
Yeah, look, I'm not mad at I actually like the different uniforms for Oregon. That's one of the reasons, like if you play college football, the video game, it's fun to play with Oregon because you can mix and match all the jerseys and stuff like that. But I'm pretty open-minded about different things like that, but I'm completely against Alabama with any other type of jerseys. I don't know why. I just think like my main reason is it's iconic. You don't change things that are perfect. So I know Alabama fans would like to see maybe like a white helmet or something like that. That's a hard pass for me.
Yeah, I don't want Alabama changing its jerseys whatsoever. I like the uniforms.
All right, man. I appreciate the call from Mississippi, man. Call back again.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right. Yep. We got a 865. I think this is our boy Angel out in Pigeon Forge. Angel, is that you?
Yes, it is.
Angel, what's up, dog? How you doing, man? You feeling good?
Doing all right.
All right, bro.
Yeah, doing all right.
Come with it, man. Welcome to the show.
Look, I'm still going to stay firm on this game. 20-17, Bama wins by field goal because both teams are very similar with talent and all that. And coaching, Kirby Smart has that advantage a little bit, even though Kevin DeBoer won last year. But I think it really comes down to the special teams at the end of the game in the end because this game is going to be like the game on the line where no one wants to be 1-2 in the conference. And a lot's at stake to potentially get in the playoffs or the SEC championship game. And I really do think Alabama does beat Georgia again because, let's be honest, history does repeat itself. But at the same time, look what happened last year with Ohio State, correct? They lost 2 games, right, to Oregon and then a terrible Michigan team. And look what happened then. They got their crap together, and they made the playoffs and went to that run of Tennessee, Texas, Oregon, and Notre Dame. I look at that saying because it's possible to be like that and win the national championship. Because we saw it last year firsthand.
Mm-hmm.
Like, imagine they get so upset and they don't make the SEC championship game, and if they get in, I feel like Alabama will go on a run against anybody. Because right now, Kirby Smart needs this win more than Alabama does. Because honestly, Kirby Smart's 1-6 or 1-7 that he's against Alabama. Like, he won one game, and that was the national championship. In the end, I still think it's just going to be a good game, but it's going to be a defensive battle, slugfest. Don't expect it to be high scoring because it won't be. At least I don't think it will. Because this is going to be a defensive battle to the end. And I'm sure the brand is at stake as well, but at the same time, it's really not. Because Bama's got like Oklahoma in them and all that. And I really think Alabama does win this game if they can do it. But if not, then we're going to have to start from square one and start questioning our defense and offense and the coaching philosophy. Because if not, something's got to go. Kane Womack, you name it. But anyway, Kyle, I'm still going to stay firm on my score prediction. 20-17, Bama wins by a field goal. Roll Tide, and have a good day, and I'll see you guys later.
All right, man. Take it easy, Angel. That's my boy Angel calling out from Pigeon Forge. Man, I need to get up to the Smoky Mountains soon. 205, you're up next. Hey, you're on the line with Kyle Henderson. Who am I on the line with and where are you calling in from?
Hey, Kyle.
Hey, it's Toby calling in from Leeds. What's up, Toby? I appreciate you, buddy. Can you hear me okay?
Oh, yep.
Toby,
Roll Tide.
Okay, Toby has a Roll Tide. And Toby, give us your score prediction.
46 to 35.
And you have Alabama winning, right?
Yep.
Okay, hey, Toby, give everybody a big Roll Tide inside the comment box.
Roll Tide, roll.
Hell yeah, Toby. All right, good call, Toby. I appreciate you, bro. All right, that was Toby out in Leeds. All right, so if you don't know Toby's story, I'd like to share it with you real quick. So Toby is the biggest Alabama football fan. I would put him against anybody in the state of Alabama, all right? So Toby, we met outside of the football, like right when I used to go into the media room. Before I went to the media room, Toby was always there. So we just crossed paths. Like, you know how life just puts you together with people? Me and Toby just crossed paths, and he was a listener to the show. This was like 3 years ago, right? So I went in and we met and we exchanged numbers, and ever since then, you know, Toby and I have been connected. So, you know, he has cerebral palsy, and he as you could see, he listens to the show all the time, and he's a huge Alabama football fan. So he calls in, which takes a lot of guts. So I love it. You know, you talk about the right psychological disposition that you have to have just in life. Toby, we love you, bro, and we appreciate the call. So Toby has it, the good guys winning. I think he has a high score. I think he said 46-35, something like that. Toby's expecting a lot of points. All right, 361, let's do it. Hey, good morning. You're online with Kyle Henderson. Who am I online with and where are you calling in from?
This is John's mailman from Corpus Christi, Texas.
Hey, John, what's up, man? I appreciate you calling from the Lone Star State from Corpus Christi. Man, it's good to hear from you. Welcome on in the show. Go ahead.
My score prediction is Bama 31, Georgia 24. And I think last year with the new offensive coordinator, I think I gave Kirby a little bit of fits in the first half, but he adjusted well in the second half.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Grubb, in his experience, he'll have one type of offense in the first half, and knowing that Kirby's going to come around and change his defense to adapt to that, he's going to change up the offense on the second half. So I think he's going to do a lot more spreading to keep those linebackers off of tight, so they don't blitz as much. So he's going to move the ball out to the sides a lot of screens like that one that trick play they did to the left side with Ryan Williams. I think that was a little storyline to get Kirby thinking, hey, these guys you got to watch. You got to stay in your, protect your outside corners, and they're not going to blitz as much from the outside. So I think Grubb has already been preparing and hasn't been dishing out a lot of his really good trick plays. And he's probably been saving it for the Georgia game. So, yeah, I say Bama 31, Georgia 24. Roll Tide.
Yeah, I appreciate it, John. Thank you so much for the call. Thank you for calling in. Good point about the offensive play caller, Ryan Grubb. I think when you look to kind of X factors that are outside of players, I got Ryan Grubb as one of them, certainly. And I think that this is a game where you're like, yeah, that's where we got an offensive coordinator like Ryan Grubb. And this is where you see him, I think, shine. And I know this makes you mad when I say it, but another reason why he's only here for one season. All right, I got a poll inside the comment box for my boy Joe Wan. So I'm saying white helmets for Bama, like in the future, like not during like Forrest Gump days. Which, by the way, I love that movie. I just saw, what movie I just saw? Life of Chuck. Has anyone seen this movie? It was pretty. I don't like. It was weird. It was good. I don't know. I liked it, I think. So 65% say no, while 35% would maybe say yes. I'm just kidding. 40 are saying yes. Interesting. Keep voting. 207. Hey, what's up? You're on the line with Kyle Henderson.
Kyle.
Who am I on the line with and where are you calling in from?
This is Rainier from Woolwich, Maine.
All right, Rainier. Good to hear from you again, man. I appreciate it. You became our official caller from Maine.
That's the goal, Kyle. trying to represent, I guess.
Welcome to the show, man. Come with it, Rainier.
Yeah, my prediction would be 30-24 Bama. I'll be working all day Saturday, but hopefully I'll get to catch the game in the evening there. Everybody's talked about it all week. It will be, can the O-line protect Ty?
Yeah.
And can Georgia get to him? And then on defense, can we cover in space? Can we stop the run? And to me, those are the deciding factors.
If there's one kind of like sleeper player in this game, who you got, Rainier?
He'd be Josh Cuevas. I think he's blocked incredibly well this season, and he's had a couple catches, and I think he really could do some damage on this Georgia secondary.
Now remind me. I know you're up in Maine, and you got a lot of feedback. By the way, a lot of people inside the comment box had been to Maine the last time you called in. But remind me, how did you become a fan of the football team?
My dad grew up in the state of Alabama, so yeah. I've been around. Alabama's been on the TV every day of my life, every fall. So it's everybody in my family is an Alabama fan. We all sit down on Saturdays to watch the game.
Man, okay, last question I got for you. White helmets for Alabama in the future, yes or no?
No, give me the red. Give me the crimson.
All right, man. I appreciate the call from Maine, man. Call in again next time. All right.
All right, good to talk to you.
Yeah, same here. The good call from Maine. The 207 area code, I think, let me look that up. Is that Maine? It has to be. 207 area code. Yeah, that's what I've never seen a 207 before. That's why that's the second time it's called in. 678. Hey, welcome to the show. You're on the line with Kyle Henderson. Who am I on the line with and where are you calling in from?
This is Steven from Powder Springs, Georgia, also known as Bama NGA Outdoors.
Hey, what's up, man? I can kind of elevate your audio. It's a little bit soft.
It is?
Yeah, it's kind of soft.
My bad.
Yeah.
Can you hear me better now, bro?
A little bit better. Tell me your name again.
My name is Steven, calling from Powder Springs, Georgia.
All right, man.
Also known as Bama NGA Outdoors.
All right, man. Come with it, man. I appreciate you calling from Georgia, man. Come with it.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. My score prediction is 42-34 Bama. And I feel like this is going to be a breakout game for offensive coordinator Ryan Grubb. I feel like a lot of people are thinking that he's going to do something unconventional, but I think he kind of messes with Kirby and has kind of a old school running air attack mix that's balanced, and Georgia's not going to be expecting that.
What else you got? You got like a sleeper in this game or somebody that you're kind of anticipating that stands out? Like I was going with Isaiah Horton. You want to back me up on that, or you got another sleeper that you think rises up in a game like this?
Well, I'm not going to say he's a sleeper, but it's a defensive player. Bray Hubbard. I think Bray Hubbard continues his interception streak, and I think that is what's going to slow Georgia down enough to where we can keep a lead once we get it.
Bray Hubbard, I like it, man. That would be a good one to call for, man. But I appreciate the call, Steven from Georgia, man. Call in again next time, man. And good call today. Appreciate it.
For sure.
All right, man. Take it easy. Good call out from our boy Steven. I just saw Lisa's trying to stir some stuff up inside the comment box. She says the white helmets, right, that I was asking for. She's like, how about a black helmet with crimson numbers on the side? I'm sorry. Look, the crimson helmet to me, and look, I like, you know me, I have all sorts of different hats and stuff like that. I don't want a different, jersey scheme. I don't know. Right? Am I crazy? All right, 276, let's do it. Hey, good morning. You're on the line with Kyle Henderson. Who am I on the line with and where are you calling in from?
Jim from Virginia.
Jim, welcome on in. I appreciate the call from Virginia. Come with it.
I think the game's going to be won by 6 inches, and I think the 6 inches is between the ears of the players. And I wonder what you think about the way Georgia won. I'm an Alabama fan, but the way Georgia won against Tennessee, is that going to play negative in their mind, or are they going to get a positive from it?
Good call. I think that you're right. I mean, a lot of this game, specifically with coaching too, I think is mental, and I think that Tennessee win won't have a factor against Alabama, and here's why. I think that Kirby Smart will be able to tell his players, hey, like, it's any given Saturday. This is Alabama. You know what they've done to us in the past. These two teams do have some good recent history, and I think that a good coach will be able to get his team ready for just the opponent at hand. I thought it was interesting listening to Kirby about how they break down their opponents. They start from the opponents that they're playing far out and then kind of work their way back each week to Alabama. He's a great coach. I have a lot of respect for Kirby Smart, and I think he did a wonderful job here. I don't think anybody disagrees with that. But I think mentally, yeah, the players know what's at stake in this game. The players obviously want to prove that they can beat a team like Alabama. There's a lot of players on Georgia that haven't beat Alabama. I think last year is probably still on the mind of everybody deep down. So, no, I'm expecting a heavyweight fight. By the way, before I get to your score prediction, where at in Virginia?
Southwest Virginia, Abingdon.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
I'm a Virginia Tech grad, so I'm disappointed about our coach being fired. But I went to UAB for training, and my son played at Alabama. So
okay.
I'm a big Alabama fan.
Yeah, got you. I lived in Alexandria at one point in my life, so I was just kind of curious to see where you're at in Virginia. But okay,
I'm closer to Tuscaloosa than Alexandria.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, as soon as I heard that, 100%. Okay, give me your score prediction.
Bama 31, Georgia 24.
31-24. Oh, I'm not mad at that score. I like it. I mean, that keeps it close to the total, which I think is like 52.5 or something like that. Anything else, Jim?
No, I just hope I think you'll get Alabama's best. I just hope the Tennessee game messes with their mind a little bit. If Georgia gets behind, can we do this again? I don't know how it all plays out. But there's a big component. Plus the fact that Alabama's beaten them 9 of the last 10 times, that'll play on their mind if they get behind. So I hope we get Alabama's best. That's the main thing I want to see.
100%. Me too. Thanks for the call, Jim. I appreciate it, man.
All right. Bye-bye.
All right. 256, you're up in just a minute. I appreciate you guys kicking it with me. Thanks for jumping inside the comment box as well. And look, would you guys agree? From a viewer's perspective, because I always like feedback, right? It's your show. I understand you want to see different things on the show. And just to kind of reiterate things, isn't it better when the calls are nice and concise? Yes, thumbs up. Do you agree with this? I mean, I think it just operates at a better level, when the calls are make your point, a little bit of dialogue, and then kind of move in. That way we can go from Maine to Virginia, right, to Florida, to Tallahassee, to Huntsville. You know what I'm saying? Just my thoughts. All right, 256, let's do it. Hey, good morning. You're online with Kyle Henderson. Who am I online with, and where are you calling in from?
Yes, sir. This is Mr. Philando Matthews. How you doing, Kyle?
Hey, what's up, man? I appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. Where are you calling out of?
I'm calling out of Campbell, Alabama.
All right, man.
Tallapoosa County.
Okay, Tallapoosa. I appreciate it, man. Welcome to the show. Come with it, man. Take it away.
Yes, sir. I think Alabama gonna win this game, but I think Jam Miller gonna run for 126 yards, and I say Ty Simpson gonna have 300 yards in the air, and he gonna throw for, let's see, maybe 2 touchdowns. And on the defense side of the ball, I'm gonna look for Brady Hubbard to have a interception return.
Ooh, I like it. I like how specific you are with Jam Miller's yards, 126 yards. I love that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right. Wait, I have to ask you a
ahead.
question before you go. Out of respect for you, I want to be able to say your name. So can you tell me your name again, your first name?
My name is Frolando.
Frolando. Okay.
And Frolando Matthews.
Got you. Okay. Thank you. Go ahead, Frolando.
And I think Alabama gonna win 37-17.
37-17. You know what? That I kind of low-key like that score. Yeah. I mean, Bama kind of running away with it there at the end. Yeah, good call, Orlando. I appreciate you, man. Anytime you want to call in from Tallapoosa County, man, call on in.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Cal.
Yeah,
have a good day. Thank you, man.
You too, man. Take it easy. All right, that was Orlando out of Tallapoosa. Yeah, we got a 317 up next. Marcus?
Yo, what's good, Kyle? How you doing?
Marcus? Marcus from St. Marcus, like opening the door, you know? Marcus from St. Pete's? Is that you?
The one and the same.
What's up, dog?
The infamous.
Happy Friday, dude. You're already at 12 in Florida and St. Pete's. I imagine you kind of looking out. You can see the Don Cesar in the background. You're having a little margarita. You're starting to loosen up, right? Is that the vibe in St. Pete's, man? What's up, dude? Tell me.
That's the vibe for some people, but not me, man. I'm I don't get to live that lifestyle just yet. I work and go to college, so, I stay on the grind.
All right, man. I love it. All the same. So what's up, man?
Hey, I just wanted to call in, man. First off, happy Feel Good Friday to you and everybody in the Undefeated. I hope everybody has a great weekend, a good Friday. I'm going to be real with you, man. I love my Tide, and I want them to win. I'm very excited for this game. I'm motivated for this game. But I feel like the deck is stacked in Georgia's favor, man. I know it would be a great thing for Alabama to go into Athens and get this win. But when I look at this objectively and I strip away the names of the schools and you just look at how they've been in the last 2, 3, 4, 5 years, Bama's a different team on the road. Georgia's really good in Athens. I think they're 33-0. They hadn't lost at home since 2019 or something like that. I mean, it's like a ridiculous stat.
Yep.
I want Bama to win. I want Bama to win. My heart wants Bama to win, but I think Georgia wins this game. And I think the game plays out one or two ways. If Georgia wins, I think it's going to be a repeat of how Bama performed against FSU. I think it'd be a dominant win. And then people are going to, the cries about the dynasty's dead and all this stuff is going to get louder. Or two, if Bama wins, which I want them to do, I think it's a tighter game. It might be a little more higher scoring, but then I think Bama takes it by a field goal.
Mm-hmm.
That's just me, man. I think it's either going to be Bama's either going to go there and get embarrassed, or Bama's going to come in there and put up the scrappy fight. But I think logically, if you strip the names away, and this was, I don't know, Coastal Carolina versus Middle Tennessee, and you looked at their records and you looked at how they performed, you'd probably pick whichever school was very similar to Georgia. I mean, Alabama and Georgia are very similar to each other.
Mm.
Their head coach was the longest tenured coordinator that Coach Saban's had. He's also a very defensively minded coach. I mean, and so the schools are very, very similar to each other. I think Georgia's defense, even though it's not great, and there's plays definitely to be made against their secondary, I think up front they're better than what Bama is. I still think Bama's weak in the trenches. We still know that we have the issue at the offensive line position, which I hate that we're still having like an offensive line battle going into this Georgia game because I wish it was already anchored and solved. I don't like the fact that Bama's going on the road to go play in Athens. I don't like the fact that we lost more of our starters. It just doesn't sound good. And if this wasn't Alabama and Georgia, and these were two completely other programs, more people would probably be surprised with the fact that they pick a school very similar to Georgia. I think we're doing it because we love the university, and I get that. I do, but the game, I'm excited for the game, but I am nervous of how it's going to play out because we don't know what version of Alabama we're going to get come Saturday. And maybe that's what the fun of it is, but I don't know, man. I don't know. How are you feeling about this, Kyle?
I told you, it's hard for me to go to negative town, and I'm not like, not a realist because I am a realist. I just think that this team will be able to put it together on Saturday because of the weapons that they have. And the only anxiety that I have is just with the tackle positions. I really do. I think if you're going to be able to beat Alabama going forward, you're going to have to be able to outscore them, and it comes down to the tackle play. But I think like going forward, can you do it again on a consistent level? Because we've felt this way before, right? Last year, we felt this way after Missouri. We felt this way after, whoever, and then they had like periodically letdowns. So you can't continue to go until fans see consistent performance and consistent domination, then fans are going to have a right to feel a little bit of anxiety. So, look, I think the first 3 games of the season, I said this, were preseason, kind of like the NFL, and the first game of the season for the NFL starts on Saturday. Make one more point, Marcus. Give me like some X factors, and then I'll move to my next caller.
So earlier when you said about sleepers, I think it's going to be Horton and Brooks. If Bama wins this game, which I want them to, if Bama wins this game, I think Horton and Brooks are going to have to be the guys that are going to be the deciding factors. And obviously the O-line has got to do their job. We were talking about the defense earlier, and it's been a consistent thing across the board that a lot of Bama fans don't like Coach Womack's defense, but now you're liking Coach Womack's defense in this game. If that's the case, that's fine. But the defense has got to play lights out, and we've yet to see them play an opponent of equal value lights out. So I think it's going to be a tough task, tough hill for Alabama to climb. I want them to climb it. I want to look wrong. I'd gladly look wrong and get booed than Alabama lose. But this is a tough task, man. We have to be real with ourselves and admit that. It's a tough task. But Alabama, if Coach DeBoer is the right guy, they should be able to accomplish it, man. They should be able to do it.
Appreciate the call as always, Marcus. Take it easy, bro.
Hey, thanks, man. Peace out. Roll Tide, everybody.
Yep. Take it easy, man. Roll Tide, too. 205, let's do it. Hey, welcome to the show. You're on the line with Kyle Henderson. Who am I on the line with and where are you calling in from?
I'm calling in from Fultondale, and my name is KP, and I would like to give my prediction of the score tomorrow.
Come with it, KP.
And my prediction of the score tomorrow is it's going to be a close one. I don't think it's going to be a high-scoring game like everybody think it's going to be. My score is 17-10 Alabama, because I think it's more about the special teams. People is overlooking the special teams, and that play a big part in a big game. And like I said, I think it's special teams. I don't think either team is not going to generate a lot of offense. I think it's going to be more like a defense, and the special teams is going to have the outcome that who's going to win the game. And like I said, the score is going to be Alabama 17, Georgia 10. Thank you.
Yeah, I appreciate it, KP. Thanks for the call, man. KP calling out of Fultondale. Appreciate it. 205 and 334, you're up next. I'll get to you in just a second. KP brings up a good point. I mean, a lot of times when we talk about these type of games, we forget to talk about the special teams. Well, what happened to Tennessee? Why didn't Tennessee ultimately beat Georgia? Right? You could say it doesn't come down to one play, but they certainly had an opportunity to win that game at the end of regulation, and they missed the kick, right? Our kickers, how are they going to fare on the road again? Another test for Connor Talty. You kind of look back to that Florida State game. He was 1 of 2. He missed a 52-yarder. So you go into this game, he's going to be put in some situations where maybe he has to come through with a big kick. On the flip side, you look at the punter, Blake Dowd. I think he's been doing a really good job. If you're able to flip the field in this type of a game, and maybe it is a defensive game like KP said, then having a weapon like Blake Dowd bodes well for you. I know Georgia has a really good kicker as well. You look to your kick returner, right? You look to your punt returner. Alabama, honestly, they have a pretty good punt returner in Cole Adams. And I don't want to start a war here, but I have to say this. I have the mindset that in big games like this, if there's a big situation, let's say it's like the third quarter and it's tied, 14-14, and Georgia's out there and you had like a 3-and-out and you need some momentum or something like that, put Ryan Williams back there. In a game like this, in a game of this magnitude, put your best playmaker. Look, Cole Adams is very good. He's shifty, but he's not Ryan Williams. Ryan Williams has this matrix ability to do things that you've never seen before. So in big games like this, I'm not mad about Ryan Williams returning punts. That's just kind of my mindset of like coaching. We'll take the 205 next. Hey, you're on the line with Kyle Henderson. Who am I on the line with and where are you calling in from? 205? Hello? Hello?
Yes. Hey, Kyle, can you hear me?
Yeah. Who am I on the line with?
Hey, this is London Margello.
Hey, London, what's up, man? Where are you calling in from?
Hey, Tuscaloosa, Alabama.
All right, London. We're not far from each other, man. What's up, London? Come with it, man. Welcome to the show.
Hey, how are you?
Good, man.
I just want to see Tim Keenan plug that middle.
Yeah, I'm curious to see with Tim Keenan coming back. I think it just elevates the whole defense, right? You got your team captain. He's 320 pounds. The other guy, look, James Smith, I think he's going to do well, and he plays next to Tim Keenan. And you've had London Simmons as a freshman get a lot of opportunities, but London Simmons is not Tim Keenan. I think actually London Keenan he's good for a freshman.
He is.
But
yes, sir.
He's not Tim Keenan. I mean, Tim Keenan, there's a difference between a dad and a grandpa, okay? And right? And that's just it.
And Tim Keenan, he brings it every down, and his attitude, his drive for the game, I just love to see him at work. And I just think if we can just clog that middle with him, our linebackers could just flow through that gap and, make the tackles easier. Because he's just going to clog 2-3 guys possibly, and, we'll get some, get off the field on third downs.
And then you kind of look to Alabama's defense as well. Like, it's not to say that he's been playing bad or underperforming, but I'd like to hear Quay Russo's name, right, in a game like this. I think he's from the state of Georgia. LT Overton, these are, pass rushers that Alabama has that we're excited about because of, their athleticism and their ability. Maybe like a Yanze Pierre, I could see him coming through in a game like this. And then, one thing that we really haven't talked about, London, and I'll ask you this before we move on, but the inside linebacker play of Alabama, Deontay Lawson, look, he's leading the team in tackles, and actually his Pro Football Focus numbers are pretty good, specifically against the run. For whatever reason, I still feel that, like, if I'm with Georgia and I'm coaching Georgia, I'm challenging Alabama's inside linebackers. I'm running at them, and I feel that they could be a liability still. I don't think that Deontay Lawson's healthy. I don't know. Do you feel the same way about Alabama's inside linebackers, or what's your take if you've had a chance to watch them?
Yes, I feel the same, but I just feel like you say, if they can just come down and close the gaps and just play their keys, I don't see Georgia doing too much trickery to get them, more out of position. I just think that it's just going to come down to, who's in the right spots on the right, right downs, right, getting behind the chains, or, keeping them, behind the chains more than less. But I just feel like if they can, stop that, then, we have a long shot of, greatness ahead of us. Not just Georgia, but just everybody.
Hey, I appreciate it. Thanks for the call in, London, and we'll catch up with you next time.
All righty. Thank you, Kyle.
All right. Take it easy, man. Yo, we holy cow! I had to tell you, we got a massive Cash App in. We got $100 Cash App in from Michael Carter. All right. So I had to highlight him in from Michael Carter on Cash App, which is amazing. So I mean, your support for me, it goes a long way. So every single time I even have like the call-in show, I have to pay for the line. It's usually like $40 a show, to be honest with you. So if I could get over that threshold for the show, you know, and off watch time ads and, you know, sponsors, it definitely helps somebody like me be a content creator. I put my best foot forward every single time I step on here. Michael Carter, I really appreciate it. If you want to continue, if you want to support the show, Venmo, Bama_YouTube, Cash App, Bama YouTube. Remember, it's free to watch. I always say this, but it's not free to produce. Like I put every single thing that I have into it. So Michael Carter, thank you so much for the 100 spot on Cash App. We go to 334. Hey, you're on the line with Kyle Henderson. Who am I on the line with, and where are you calling in from?
This is Ronnie from Lee County, Alabama.
Hey, Ronnie, good to hear from you, man. Welcome on in. Come with it, bro.
Well, I listened to a YouTuber the other day said the Gunner Stockton's QBR against man-to-man was in the 90s, but when against zones, his QBR drops to the 60s. So that helps us. We play a lot of zone. And when a offensive-minded coach comes out with a great game plan against Georgia, like Tennessee did, and jumped all over them, 21 points real quick, they're susceptible to that, seem to be, because last year, out of the bye week, Kalen DeBoer came out, great offensive game plan, and they jumped up 28-0.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe he also came out with a great game plan on the bye week before LSU and played like gangbusters. They're coming out with another great game plan versus Georgia in Athens. And Georgia better hold on tight that first quarter, second quarter.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be stuff that they haven't seen before, just like last year. They were sandbagging, waiting for Georgia, waiting in the bushes. They're waiting in the bushes again for him. And I think Ty Simpson, he's a better, more complete quarterback than the other quarterback we had last year.
Mm-hmm.
And the defense is better than it was at this time last year.
Mm-hmm.
It took Alabama about 6 games before they got acclimated to the defense, and they started playing better. And then it looked like the offense took a dive after that on last year. But I say they come out like gangbusters, and I believe the score will be one of scores that Kirby Smart has been seen twice before versus Alabama, 41-24 for a third time.
I appreciate the call, Ronnie. Thanks, man. I appreciate the dialogue too, man. Good stuff. Ronnie calling from what is it? Lee County from our buddy Ronnie. Appreciate it, man. Roll Tide. You know, Ronnie brings up a good point. You know, he made me start thinking about, it's like, have we had enough time? Maybe we haven't, okay? But have we had enough time to assess this team compared to last year's team, and who would be the better, like, who's the better team? And I think that it's also something that we have to look at with Coach Kalen and board too, is like, is this team getting better, right, year by year? Mr. Optimism, I think that they're better, right? Am I tripping? Have we had enough time? Maybe we haven't had enough time. Maybe I should have put another option as like, not sure. Jury's still out, right? Like, maybe this is something that we reevaluate. But I don't know, quickly, like if you ask me, you know how they say your first inclination is always right? Like if you ask me, I'd be like, yes. But I don't know. I sort of live in like positive town. 502, let's do it. Hey, you're on the line with Kyle Henderson. Who am I on the line with, and where are you calling in from?
Ron Smalley from Elizabethtown, Kentucky.
All right, Ron, what's up, man? I appreciate you calling in from Elizabethtown, Kentucky, man. Come with it.
Roll Tide all the way, and I'm going to tell you what, I disagree with most of the viewers. I'm looking at a lapper, and I'm going to tell you why. Georgia has been good for a while, but I think they're overrated. Tennessee's offense is not that powerful, but they put up 44 or 41 points. And I think Alabama's going to put up at least 48 or 51 points. And I don't think Georgia scores no more than 13 points. I'm going to tell you why, because Gunnar Stockton, the only teams that give Alabama trouble is those teams with a good running quarterback. Stockton, he'll run if he's had to. He's a pocket quarterback. I think our defense comes out. I think Ty Simpson's going to do what he does. This is why I think it's going to play out, Cal. Ty Simpson's going to throw for over 300 yards, and everybody's going to start talking about, oh, early Heisman, and all this good stuff, which is true and deserving. But I think, I'm not sure if it's going to be Jam Miller. I don't know if he's had enough reps, but I think it's going to be the young man, I forgot his last name, pardon me, Kevin something. He's going to have a good game, as well as the freshman boy. I don't know if it's Daniel Hill or Richard Young. I think they're going to have a good game against Georgia. And our defense will show up, and Georgia will be shut down. I promise you that.
You know, Ron, I'm with Ron from Elizabethtown, Kentucky. You know, it would be – a lot of people felt before the year that Georgia isn't the same Georgia, right? And that would kind of play into what you were saying. Can you imagine? I didn't even think about this narrative yet, but what if Alabama goes to Georgia? I mean, there are a million different scenarios, but one of them that I didn't even really think about, what if Alabama goes to Georgia in this blackout, and what if they just buzz some? What if like Ron is saying, what if they just fly by them, like 42-10 or something like that, like when the Niners beat the Broncos in the Super Bowl? I had to throw that in for my Niners fans. But you know what I'm saying? Like, what would happen? We would go crazy. The phone lines would never stop. I'm telling you. So I don't know. Maybe that could happen. Hey, Ron, give me an X factor. Could be a coach. Could be a player. Give me an X factor, somebody to watch on Saturday.
X factor, I think, is going to be running backs, because we know Coach Kirby's already mentioned in some of his podcasts his fear of the wide receivers, i.e. Jeremy Bernard, and Ryan Williams was hurt last year. And now you're throwing Isaiah Horton, but what he hasn't mentioned, nothing about the running backs. The running backs are going to catch Georgia off guard.
Yeah.
Our O-line, I got to give them that credit. They've been doing pretty good. And like you said, Cal, you know, everybody's thinking this is not the Georgia when Stetson Bennett and Carson Beck was there. This is a whole new team that's going to get exposed. I'm going to tell you how it's going to roll out. Everybody's been talking about, Alabama, get rid of Kalen Moore. I think Coach Kalen Moore has the upper hand on Georgia, and I think this puts Alabama back in the top 10.
Yeah.
This blowout victory over Georgia, and Georgia drops. And now I'm not sure about all this crazy stuff about how many SEC games you got to play, but for this week, for Saturday, I'm going to roll Tide and a lapper. And I'll be shocked if they don't score at least 48 to 52 points.
All right. Love the call, Ron. I appreciate it, man. Roll Tide to you, bro.
All
right.
Roll Tide.
Ron, with that, you know what? That's that confidence that Ron has, that Toby has. There's some people in the comment box that certainly agree that, Alabama runs away with this game. I said, here's my score on screen. I'd put it, but, Michael Carter's got the floor right here with that 100 spot on Cash App, which I really appreciate. Actually, we could probably move this up just a little bit. Let's see. All I need is a little bit. There you go. All right. Let's see. We go back to the phone lines. 334. Hey, you're on the line with Kyle Henderson. Who am I on the line with, and where are you calling in from?
Hey, this is Blake. I'm from Prattville.
Hey, Blake, I appreciate you calling in from Prattville. Welcome on in.
Yeah, I've been watching the show now since preseason, and I have to agree with you on the tackle situation. I believe we should play Michael Carroll and just see what he can do. But I believe that Alabama can win this game if our defense steps up in the run game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I believe we have great pass defense. We just haven't really stopped the run at all this year, really.
And I think you're right, Blake. Like, let's play. If we are going to attack Alabama, like, you from Prattville and me from Tuscaloosa, right? And we're like designing a game plan or like telling people how to beat Alabama. It's like, hey, challenge them to run the ball. I don't think Gunnar Stockton is going to throw for 350 yards in this game. I don't think he's going to throw for 225. I think he'll make throws, and, you know, that's the type of quarterback that he's shown he can be in the early season. But it's all about Alabama stopping the run 100%. And I would like to see Michael Carroll. I'm going to be watching Wilcom Formby on the watch along with you guys on Saturday. We'll be observing him. How is he doing? But that's how you beat Alabama, is you pressure Ty. And if you can get to Ty, then you can't get to the dangerous weapons. Now, maybe Alabama, like Ron just called in and says, you know, maybe they go ground heavy against Georgia. I just think that the key to beating Alabama is getting to Ty, getting heat on Ty. And Florida State had a great game plan on both sides of the ball, and that's why they ultimately beat Alabama. What else you got, Blake?
Another thing is, I believe in this game, our D-line hasn't had many pressures this year. Yeah. The only time we really got pressures was against Wisconsin. But I do believe in this game we will get 3+ sacks.
3+ sacks, yeah, that'd be gigantic, right? I mean, it gives you such momentum, I mean, to everybody. There's nothing like a quarterback sack, you know, a long field goal. Those little things that we don't talk often enough certainly go so far in terms of momentum. All right, you have like a X Factor or like one other thing that you're watching, Blake, before I move on?
Yeah, I would say Kane Womack. If he can keep his defense composed and he can get out there and call the right formations, right plays to stop Georgia's offense, I feel like he would be the X factor to this game.
Yeah, I think that's a home run, Blake. Blake from Prattville with the home run. All right, Blake, I appreciate it, man. Thanks for calling in, bro.
Yes, sir. Thanks.
All right, yep. That was it. Yeah, that's it. That's the storyline to the game. Is Kane Womack is the X factor. Can he get this defense and the schematics to stop Georgia's run game? Can Alabama's offensive tackles protect Ty Simpson, right? That's what it comes down to. We know the storylines. Now it's time for these two damn teams to, like, play the game, right? We've been waiting for such a long time. Hey, fam, I appreciate you guys calling in. I appreciate you guys supporting me, whether it's Venmo, Bama_YouTube, Cash App, or whether you guys just being here inside the comment box each and every day live at 10 a.m. or as news happens or as videos drop. You know what to do. Hit the subscription button on these videos and hit that like button on these videos. Every single video should have at least 200 to 300 thumbs up on them, right? So let's continue to do that as a community. That's also another way to support. It's free to do. It is free to just hit that damn thumbs up button. I appreciate it, okay? News as it happens. I hope you guys enjoyed the content. Definitely check out the Facebook channel where I post daily content. It's basically like my website. It has 60,000 followers. So we need to catch up to the YouTube channel, which now has 115,000 subscribers. Okay, so that's where we're at. I hope you guys have enjoyed the show. Every show is custom tailored from my heart and soul, right? And, you know, I really enjoy catching up with you guys. I really do. I love hearing from whether you're calling from Maine or from Fultondale. I don't give, like, I love it. I could talk with you guys all day long, right? And I'm blessed to do that, and I love the opportunity to get to hear your take. And remember, if you call in and you have, you know, like, if you disagree with anything that I say, that's fine, right? I want to hear your point, right? But I promise you we'll be friends in real life, 100%. Tomorrow. Have a blessed day. Be where your feet are at. Enjoy this beautiful life. Coming to you from beautiful Tuscaloosa, Alabama. One day away from Georgia, Alabama. Kyle Henderson. Bama. Football. Oh, YouTube. All right, fam. See you guys. Thanks for watching. Take it easy. And roll damn